What's going on, guys? My name is Ben and welcome back to another video. Today I am out for a drive and I've bumped into a rather familiar looking A35 AMG. This car is owned by my friend Erik, so we thought why not go out and film a video. The last video I filmed with him was filmed around a year ago now, so now that he is more familiar with the car and he of course has more of a kind of wiser kind of viewing point on the car as to what ownership is like, so I thought that would be very good to put across onto camera. So maybe you're thinking about buying one of these cars, or you're just generally interested in the A35. That is why we thought we'd throw this video together as a little kind of ownership review. He's going to go through some of the running costs and things he has counted on his 1 year journey with the A35. Here we are then, joined by my good friend Erik. It's very good to see you. It's been a while, and of course we are maintaining the safe distance. If anything, we're kind of exaggerating the distance, really. To the point where you're in the middle of the road, actually. Yeah, filming this in the middle of the road, but got to do what you got to do. So welcome back. It's good to see you. It's good to be back. And let's have a little walk around with your car, because a year on, you've probably got some thoughts and some things to kind of review about the car. And I think you've done some mods as well. Some minor modifications, yeah. So when I did the video last time with you, I'd only had the car for a few months. Obviously we're now a year on, and I think it's time that someone did a video with some honest running costs of a car like this. I've got some slight regrets, to be honest. Now being a year on, having run the car and gone through various things like servicing, maintenance, brakes, tyres, fuel, etc, etc. I wanted to sort of let you know what those costs are, and really, before anyone considers buying an A35 or a car of this class, it doesn't just apply to this car. I think it's good that we run through, be honest and open with the people. The people need to know, Ben. There were a couple of modifications on the last video, to be fair, that we didn't mention. Everyone was commenting. We need to pull those comments up and have a look, actually. We will do that. But the people were commenting, why does the exhaust sound like that? How did you get it to pop in? That's not a standard exhaust. It is a standard exhaust from Miltech. It's a little bit more raspy, so it sounds very stock, but it doesn't sound silly. If you take the GPF out, then it does sound a little bit like the old A45, where it has that really loud, shouty gear change, and thought the only way to make it sound a bit better is to change the system. So it does sound a bit better. People picked up on the last video, but it's now like bedded in, so it'd be good to hear it again. So other costs, I use this for work, so I've done like 25,000 miles in the car already. So it could be the highest mileage A35 in the country, in existence, in the world. Who knows? No idea which of those apply. You're claiming that though, aren't you? I'll take that. Yep. I'll put that in the windscreen. F-type. Yeah, man. So the cost of the exhaust fitted was £1,000, and it was one of the first Miltech GPF back systems. I don't know whether £1,000 was worth it, to be honest. Do you not? Sounds good when I was following you earlier. Few nice pops and bangs. Well, we'll get some footage and then we'll let the people decide. So, to be fair, I didn't hear it standard, so I can't really comment really. No, but it's bedded in since the last video, so I don't know whether there'll be much change, but we will put some footage in, let the people decide. Bang a vote in there, Ben, over here. Can you do that? Is it there? There? Over there? I think it's over there. Press the thing, vote. Is £1,000 worth it for a Miltech exhaust for the change on this? God knows. Also, I've lowered the car. It's gone down 25mm at the back, 15mm at the front, I think, nice. On H&R springs. And then, obviously, that black thing's been done on the front. So you've wrapped the black grille. Was that like that in the last video? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was going to have it done like the following week, I think. Right. So that, it's been done a year now, so granted, Chameleon Cars Customs in Doncaster, Jay, if you're watching, this has lasted really, really well, but I think it needs to go gloss black. It's actually matte black. Yeah. And it's got a little bit of a chip on it now, stone chips, because I've done so many miles, so that's to be expected with any wrap. I think it looks very, very good, but seeming as this is your car and you know more about it than I do, and of course we can't go in the same car together, I think I'll hand over the camera to you in the car. We'll go for a little bit of a hoot, and you can just let the ladies and gentlemen know your kind of thoughts. Do you have ladies that watch your channel? No, it's 100% male audience. No, you've got one lady. Who? That friend that you've got, who we met on that drive. No, I don't think she watches my videos now.
No. Hey, if we mention her in the video, will she give us some free air fresheners?
No.
All right.
She comes like a razor.
Good song, that.
Good song, that.
I've done well.
Why did you choose that one?
Royalty free. Right then, before I hand over the camera to Eric and we go for a little drive, we thought we would read through some of the comments that were on the previous video that I did with this car and kind of get your thoughts towards them. You can read the first comment, I'll let you.
First comment was, amazing looking car. Enjoy, mate, you bought a fantastic car.
Couldn't agree more, hey?
Love it.
Another comment, beautiful. I think he's referring to the car though, not gonna lie.
I doubt that. Here's a good one. A35 has a better sound than the new A45S.
Ooh, I really think that's true. Is he right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it on the road.
No.
But at first I thought, yeah. But now I've seen the new car out and all the video reviews on it, I do think that the A45 sounds pretty sweet for what it is. You get used to it. Because everyone's comparing it to the old gen.
Yeah.
Not compared to old gen anymore.
No, they're a completely different car. Like,
Yeah.
this is just so much better than the previous gen.
I agree.
In every single way possible. I've got one. How does your exhaust sound like that when you rev? Are you holding the paddle down when you rev?
I don't know, should we try it?
Let's try it.
I've never heard it sound like that before.
Lovely standard Merc exhaust, I think.
We don't rev it very much.
No, I can
It's
tell.
a nice change. Are you holding the pedal down when you rev?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Well, no.
You're just revving.
When you turn the car on, it's got a thing called AMG Emotion Start. So you hold the pedal and press start, and it does like this.
It does a louder start. Okay.
But when I'm revving it in standard like that, then no, I was just revving it.
Happy days, that's answered that. Someone has said, give me an RS3 any day.
What a lunatic.
Oh.
Two different classes of car. Do we even need to say anything?
No, I don't think we need to go any further with that. AMG every day. You're right.
Hello. We've chosen the right location here, haven't we?
Yeah. I think I found one which is probably going to trigger you a bit.
Uh-oh.
Car probably costs more than his house, lol.
Yeah, mate, 150 grand this car. Nutter.
Right then, now that we've kind of read through and evaluated some of the comments from the previous video, I think I will now hand over the camera to Eric and we'll go out for a drive separately in our cars and he can give you his ownership kind of experience in a nutshell.
And I'm not going to give you the camera back. I'm
No,
keeping it.
yeah, you'll probably just drive off at the end of the day.
Yep.
1,500 quid's worth of stuff gone.
Next video.
Eric stole my camera.
I am taking over Ben's channel today because of social distancing rules with the current COVID scenario. It's probably safer that I do my own take on it with the camera instead of having Ben in the car, just in case Ben gives me coronavirus, because you never know what that guy's got. Keep that in. I have done 24,000 miles, 25,000 miles in this car, and I've gone through a set of tyres already. The car came as standard with Pirelli P0s, and I changed the tyres after 20,000 mile for Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. All well and good until a week ago when I found that I had a flat on the front driver's side. What can you do? So I had to get a new one. They're £200 a corner, or about £150 a corner, I think, on their own, and then £200 fitted. So they're expensive, and it's another one of those things. You can't really put any other tyres on this car. I did notice though, swapping from the Pirellis to the Michelins, how much of an improvement it made to the drive and how more steady it was. That paired with the fact that I put H&R springs on the car, because the ride it sat nice, but just a 15mm drop makes it sit just that little bit better, and the H&Rs make the ride a lot smoother as well. Another cost is servicing. Luckily, I got a service plan with the car for the first 4 years. I'm not going to keep the car for 4 years, I don't think. Go for a service plan, definitely, because I think AMG service is like, I don't know, I'm not going to comment, I'm not going to try and give you advice. I think like 400 quid a go, something like that. So yeah, definitely worth getting a service plan. Fuel is my main pet hate, right? So I bought this car because I thought I'm going to do a lot of miles and it's going to be more economical than an A45 or something similar in that bracket. Go for the A35, get a better MPG. Merc would claim on average 40 MPG for a car like this. Sound. I did hit 40 MPG once, and I can assure you it doesn't happen very often. I'm currently averaging 28.5, and I'm not really going for it, am I? As you can tell, I'm just talking to the camera and taking it steady. I'm getting like 28.5. So on the motorway, doing a long journey, honestly, you can hit 40 mpg if you get it in cruise control, 65, 70 mile an hour, comfort mode. You'll hit close to, if not there. But driving it normally around town, expect 28 mpg. And for that, you could be running a V8, you could be running Ben's chav machine. Insurance on a car like this, it's not that bad for me. I'm 25 years old. I've got no fault claims on my insurance. I've got one non-fault claim from like 4 years ago. Apart from that, that's it, pretty clean. So I've no speeding offences, I've got no history, criminal convictions relating to driving or anything like that. Not relating to anything for that matter, actually. Don't know why I said that. The insurance is like 900 quid, I think, for the year. It's not too bad. It's what you would expect to pay, I think, for a hot hatch of this bracket. Overall impressions of this car, I love it to bits. Every time I park it up, I look back at it. For what it is, it gets a lot of attention. Obviously, it's not a supercar or anything like that. It's just a reasonable priced hatchback. But it's new and people like seeing new Mercs, I feel. Now they get a lot of attention, especially when they're clean. You leave this thing for 4 days and it gets dusty and horrible, and it doesn't get any attention at all. But when it's clean, it really does turn heads. It's definitely very driver orientated. Obviously, it's designed to be driven quickly. You don't really have to slow down for many corners because it's obviously 4-wheel drive. And it sounds, there's a nice tone coming out the exhaust and stuff as well. A lot of it's driven into the cabin through speakers, and I'm not a fan of that. And I don't know if you can hear the pops and stuff. Oh my gosh. The only niggles with it, like I mentioned on the last video, is that spoiler on the back is a little bit rattly. It's not got any worse since the last video, so people were saying that they've already had to have theirs bolted back on and stuff like that. Don't know what they've been doing with them. So mine seems okay. Oh, that's wrong gear. Gearbox does have some problems sometimes, like it just decides to fall into neutral if it doesn't like what gear it was going to go into, which I don't really understand. The other thing is brakes as well. So the car is only just over a year old. I haven't given it much hard driving, I'll be brutally honest, like no more than you would expect for, you know, how the car's designed to be driven. And the brakes are already fading. Like, I can, at a relatively high speed, I can put my foot on the brake and you can feel some judder through the brake pedal. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's probably the brake pads going. I had them looked at not too long ago and they said there was still half left and the service said it was fine. So, don't really know about that. Could be something I need to get checked out at Merc.
Right then guys, that is where we are going to end today's video. Massive thank you to Erik for presenting today's video. It's definitely a bit of a change from the norm. If you preferred Erik doing this video over me, then make sure you give the video a big thumbs up, and he'll probably take my channel off me. How's that sound?
I'll take that up.
Yeah.
No problem.
If he's probably a better YouTuber than me anyway, but it was quite good to come across and see a real owner's kind of thoughts and feelings after owning a car for well over a year now. I think a lot of these reviews aren't really owner based, they're just press cars on a test track one day, so you don't really get the full experience. But again, thank you to Erik for presenting today's video. It's been very good to see him and catch up. If you enjoyed this video, and of course you preferred Erik, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And of course, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future upcoming content to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.